Today I'm going to introduce the basics of designing a drivetrain for the RECF Engage robotics competition using LEGO Spike Prime. RECF Engage is a fast-paced robotics competition where students build remote-controlled robots to play in solo or two-player alliance matches to complete the season's challenge. G'day, I'm Mr. Code, and I've been coaching students to local, national, and international robotics competitions since 2017. While other subsystems may change on your robot every season to solve different challenges, your drivetrain is something that is more or less a constant feature. Designing a strong, reliable drivetrain is a crucial first step for the RECF robotics competition. Luckily, the parts from LEGO Spike Prime and the expansion set contains everything you need to meet the challenge. It is worth mentioning that you can use any LEGO parts from outside the Spike kits as well. So if you have EV3 or LEGO Technic parts, you are likely allowed to use them too. Just check the game manual for parts restrictions. In this video, I'll give your team 10 useful tips to get started with designing your first robot before taking a detailed look at my own 6-wheel drivetrain designed for this season's game, Tier Takeover. Now, I spend a lot of time making robotics videos just like these, so if you find it useful or helpful, then please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It is your support that lets me continue to make STEM videos, so I thank you in advance. Number 1, understand the sizing requirements. Every season, the game has various sizing requirements that your robot must comply with. The starting size is the size that your robot must fit in at the start of your match, while the expansion is how large your robot can become once the match has started. In this year's game, Tier Takeover, the robot must begin the game within 20 inches long by 11 inches wide by 15 inches tall. When the game starts, the robot can expand horizontally up to 24 inches long by 11 inches wide, and there is no limit to how tall it can expand. Tip number 2, use beam frames as your main structural component. These large rectangular frames are great for building robust and durable structures for your robot, and makes it easy to add attachment points throughout your build. RECF Engage requires a much bigger robot than most other robot competitions, so using beam frames will save you time and keep your robot strong. Tip number 3, use all 6 hub ports for your motors. RECF Engage allows up to 6 motors to be used on a robot, and most of the time you want the maximum energy output allowed to keep your robot fast and effective during driver control. If using sensors are crucial for your strategy, then make sure you are not sacrificing too much power. Tip number 4, ensure all your wheels are powered on your drivetrain. For the best driving experience, you want all your wheels to be moving either through the use of gear trains or a chain drive. Gears are my personal choice because they are a bit more efficient and they come with Spike. But if you want a chain drive, you will need to purchase LEGO chains separately. Tip number 5 is to mix traction wheels with smooth wheels for better turning. You want your robot to have one set of traction wheels while all the other wheels are smooth or have their tires removed. This makes it so that the robot turns reliably and keeps it agile during the match. Keep in mind that removing the tires can lower one side of your robot, so adjust accordingly to keep your robot flat. My non-profit ASTEM Incorporated is the international partner for RECF competitions in Australia, and our mission is to deliver robotics competitions with integrity, fairness, and education at its centre. Through our partnership with the REC Foundation, we support students, schools, coaches, and volunteers as they take part in world-class drone and robotics competitions. To start your team's journey to the World Championships, the first step is to register your team. So be sure to sign up at recfevents.org. Tip number 6 is to learn to 3D print custom parts. In RECF, you can use a limited number of 3D printed parts up to a certain size, and although you won't be able to print big structural elements, small things like connections, hinges, and custom gears are a great way to further customize and improve your robot. Tip 7 is to maximize the gyro sensor. Since all of your ports are likely going to be occupied by motors, the main sensor for coding solo matches will be your gyro. Make sure you study the capabilities of the gyro sensor extensively because you would be surprised as to how versatile this built-in sensor can be. Tip number 8 is to think carefully about your gear ratio. Your drivetrain isn't just about having lots of motors. You also need to decide how those motors transfer their power to the wheels. A higher gear ratio can make your robot faster, while a lower gear ratio gives you more torque. For your first drivetrain, I recommend starting fairly conservative. RECF Engage requires your robot to move game objects, maneuver accurately, and potentially carry quite a bit of weight. So having enough torque is usually more important than building the fastest robot on the field. Once your robot is working reliably, you can experiment with different gear ratios with wheel sizes to find the balance of speed and torque that works best for your strategy. Tip number 9 is to keep your drivetrain low, balanced, and symmetrical. Where you place the weight on your robot makes a surprisingly big difference to how well it drives. Try to position heavy components like the spike hub low down and close to the center of your drivetrain. Keep the left and right sides as symmetrical as possible. Make sure your axles are properly supported, and check that all your wheels are aligned. A drivetrain that is slightly twisted or uneven can cause your robot to drift, turn inconsistently, and make accurate solo coding runs much harder. And tip number 10 is to design your drivetrain to be upgraded. Your first robot is almost certainly not going to be your final robot, and that is exactly how competitive robotics should work. Leave plenty of attachment points around your drivetrain so that you can easily add lifts, intakes, arms, and other mechanisms later. Make sure you can still reach your hub to charge your battery and important connections without dismantling half the robot. Most importantly, build your drivetrain first and test it extensively before adding complicated mechanisms on top of it. If the foundation of your robot is reliable, everything you build on top of it becomes much easier. Before we look at my drivetrain, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, More Educational. Ever since Creator Academy started making LEGO education videos, we have been greatly supported by the experts at More Educational. They are an authorized partner of LEGO Education with over 27 years experience working with LEGO education products. So if you're in Australia and you want to buy genuine LEGO education products like all of the ones shown in this video, then make sure you visit the More Educational website. Now let's take a closer look at the drivetrain that I've designed for this season's Tier Takeover game. This is a 6-wheel drivetrain built primarily using parts from the LEGO Education Spike Prime and Expansion sets, with a couple of parts from the EV3 kit as well. The first thing you'll notice is that I have built the chassis around these large beam frames. They give me a strong rectangular structure while also creating plenty of connection points for whatever mechanisms I decide to add later. I've used 6 wheels to give the robot a large, stable footprint, and all 6 wheels are powered, so rather than having wheels simply being dragged along the field, each wheel contributes to moving the robot. You'll notice that the middle wheels are raised higher than the front and back wheels, and this gives the robot more power when crossing obstacles or barriers in the game. The motors transfer their power across the drivetrain using gears. One of the advantages of doing this is that I can experiment with the gearing later if I decide that I need more speed or more torque. I've also deliberately mixed wheel traction. I want enough grip for the robot to accelerate and push effectively and also to cross the barrier, but I don't want so much sideways friction that the robot struggles to turn. At this stage, I haven't designed the robot's main tier takeover mechanisms yet. That's deliberate because competitive robotics is an engineering process. You don't need to know exactly what your final robot will look like before you begin. Start with a reliable foundation, test it, learn from it, and then progressively design mechanisms that solve the challenges you encounter. This drivetrain isn't meant to be the perfect tier takeover robot, and I don't want you to simply copy it piece by piece. Use it as a starting point. Look at why different design decisions have been made, test those ideas for yourself, and then find ways of making your own robot better. Because ultimately, one of the best things about robotics competitions is seeing 10 different teams confronted with exactly the same problem and then coming up with 10 completely different solutions. If you're competing in RECF Engage this season, I hope this video gives you a useful starting point for your robot. That's it from me today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.